Adam from Chico's Cars. The Yorkville Exotic Car Show is absolutely amazing. Hundreds of cars, all kinds of different types, exotics, sports, classics. All the brand names are here, from like 1950 cars all the way up to like the brand new pre-production Acura NSX, which I was lucky enough to get opportunity to take a look at and look inside. Also got a great upfront look at the brand new LaFerrari, one of only 499 in the world. So that was absolutely amazing. And let's see what other cars we can see today here at the Yorkville Exotic Car Show. So Lucas, what made you start the Autostrada forum?
So I met up with my business partner Sean. He owns a custom home builder magazine. He always had a automotive feature in there. And then yeah, one day we just kind of looked at each other and we're like, we should do a car one. So he asked me if I was serious, and we ended up here now. So. And
you're one of the few people that probably driven almost every exotic car and amazing car known to man.
I've been very fortunate. Yeah, absolutely.
What would you say is your is there a favorite that you have, or do you like?
You know what? I've always been a Ferrari guy, so I've been fortunate to drive a couple of these things, which is pretty special. So there's something about the cars, and you get behind the wheel, there's overwhelming sense of passion and just excitement comes over you. So it's always a very special experience.
And there's probably, would it be fair to say, less than 1,000 people that have driven a LaFerrari in the world?
You know what? I have no idea. They made 499 cars, so if you kind of do the math, I'm sure there's not too many guys out there. But yeah, I'm very lucky to be able to say that I've got behind the wheel of a couple. So.
And what is the difference between like a supercar, because you drive the 458 Speciale, and like a LaFerrari?
You know what? It's amazing the difference, just attention-wise, of the LaFerrari. You drive it, it's like a moving traffic jam. People want to know what it is. It looks like a spaceship. It's just a hypercar. It's pretty much a Speciale on steroids. It's a great car. It's actually fairly livable to drive, and then when you get on the power, all hell breaks loose. So it's pretty wild.
And besides the hypercars, what would be your favorite, like, normal supercar?
Normal supercar? I'm a Ferrari guy, so I'd have to say the 458, the Speciale. I got to drive one for a week going up the coast of California, which is a very, very special trip. So there's always a little part of that car in me that I'll never be able to get rid of.
And besides Ferraris, if Ferrari didn't make supercars, what would be the next kind of car that you would say you
know what? That's tough. I haven't really thought of that, actually. I grew up as a Viper guy. That's how I got into this whole photography and the magazine. And there's something about the Viper that really is a soft spot with me. Right. Not just the look, but it's just you in the car. If you don't have your wits about you, it's going to hurt you. So. I love cars like that. It kind of has that raw edge to it, and a lot of the older stuff, like I find the new stuff's a bit more synthetic, and the older stuff kind of has a bit more character, which is nice. So
yeah. And thanks very much for this interview, and hopefully we'll see you at more car events.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much. Take care. Totally tell me if I'm overstepping my bounds, but would you be able to open up a door and I can just get a shot inside?
Zach, you have the keys? Yes, I do. If
awesome.
You want to just pop it open and
just get a shot inside. That'd be awesome. This car looks better in person than it does in the pictures.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. I'm here with Lawrence Yap from Craft Motors, and Lawrence, what are you doing down here at the Yorkville Exotic Car Show today?
We're down here because we're friends with Truffet and Hill. They make men's grooming products. They're from the UK, and they wanted something that represented the best of British to go along with their display. So we brought the new Mclaren 570S. It's what you would call the entry-level Mclaren. It starts at just over $200,000, but it still has the carbon fiber tub, it still has the twin-turbo V8, still has the 7-speed seamless shift gearbox. So all of that technology for, you know, just over $200,000.
And now people are going to be cross-shopping this in like 911 turbos. That's what they're aiming at.
Yeah.
What do you think about the difference between somebody who buy a 911 turbo versus a 570?
Well, you know, I'm a Porsche guy, and we sell Porsche as well. The difference with this is that it weighs about 600 pounds less than a 911 turbo. So in terms of pure speed and responsiveness around corners, it's kind of a step up. It's maybe a little less of an everyday car, so if you're planning to drive your car in the winter, the all-wheel drive in the 911 turbo is obviously a big advantage, but you know, it's kind of, you have to try them both and really figure out what's best for you.
But this car would bite you a lot quicker than a 911 turbo would.
You know, it really would depend on the conditions. It's a very, very friendly car to drive. I haven't had it up to the point where I'm even close to approaching its limits. Ultimately, you know, the all-wheel drive and the turbo will probably help you out more when you get kind of beyond the limits of adhesion, but they're both very friendly cars to drive.
You've also driven the 650S.
Yes.
And probably the 675LT as well.
Yeah.
Maybe not the P1. Have you driven a P1
I have not
yet?
driven a P1, no.
Okay, but how does this 570 compare with the other McLarens in the lineup?
The big difference between the Sports Series, which this car represents, and the Super Series, which is the 650S and the 675, is number one, the aerodynamics. There's no active aerodynamics on this car, so no movable wings. Everything is done using the bodywork. Number two is the hydraulic suspension. The 650 and the 675 have a hydraulic suspension, so there's more kind of variability in it, and also the ride quality is better. This has a conventional suspension, still has 3 different settings, but it has anti-roll bars, so it's kind of a more normal feeling car. It feels more like a sports car, a little less like something that's very sci-fi.
Yeah.
So those are the 2 primary differences.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much, Lawrence, and thanks for the video.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank